Hi, everybody. Welcome to another installment of my autograph collection. I've got a few in this series. I made a couple already. I'm going to make more in the future. There'll be quite a number of these if you want to keep checking them out. Okay, so subscribe to my channel, please. That's really appreciated. And let's go. Okay, here is an autograph I got at a convention. This is Marina Sirtis, who is known as Counselor Troy from Star Trek The Next Generation. All the best. Okay. Next up, I think I showed this one already. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll skip that one. Okay, Joan Jett. I'm a real Joan Jett fan, and in 1983, I mailed to her address at the time and asked for, an autograph, and she sent me back something, which I will get into in a moment. I got to take it out of here. Sorry. I wasn't prepared just now. I'm going to take this out of the sleeve. She sent me back first an autographed picture, and I knew that was her handwriting because I was familiar with her handwriting. To Joe, with love, Joan Jett. But she put a couple of arrows on the bottom, like, see the arrows, like as if to say, turn over. Turned it around, and we had this. A little note on the back. It says, Dear Joe, sorry for no letter. Way too busy to write. I hope to see you someday. Sorry this has to be short. Keep dancing. Love, Joan Jett. And that was also legitimate because a very short time after that, I got to meet her in person. And as soon as I told her my name, she recognized it immediately. She knew what town I lived in. She remembered me. And, I asked her if this was authentic, although I knew pretty darn well it was. And she said, that's my handwriting. You made it very easy for me. All I had to do was have your address, and I sent it right out. So that was great. But then I got to meet Joan Jett a few other times. I got a photo with her once that I don't have handy. This is another time that I met Joan Jett. This was at I believe, a mall. She was signing autographs at a shopping mall back in, I think this was I want to say 87-ish, something like that. Anyway, I always liked this one. You Rock On. That's pretty nice. All right, now, Yoko Ono. I got to meet Yoko Ono 2 times, and it's funny, I always say that I was not into record albums at the time, so I didn't really have a record album to bring with me when I met her. I met her at the Dakota building twice. And this was one of the autographs I got from her. I actually took a page out of a book. And in 1994, she signed this for me. Okay, at a horror convention, I met the Spanish horror icon known as Paul Naschy. I think his name is Jacinto Molina, I think is something his name. He didn't speak English, but very well. But he's in a lot of horror movies, and he's most known for his werewolf character in Spain. And I think this means To Joe with Sincere Affection from 1998, Paul Naschy. That's the name he used. So he wrote in Spanish. And this was all I had handy at the time was a VHS bootleg cover. That's all I had. All right. I got to meet the actress Sean Young. I met her at, I think it was the David Letterman show. I got a nice picture with her somewhere as well. There's her autograph. I got 2 autographs from her at that time. That's one of them. It was a pretty lady. Really pretty. Look at that. I love her look there. She signed this one as well, and I got a photo with her somewhere. So maybe I'll show. I'm sure I'll show the photos too at one point. Okay, I got a Sylvester Stallone autograph. It's not very neat, but I've got a story to go with this. Okay, he was at the David Letterman show signing a lot of autographs, and I couldn't get near him. But there was a routine that you did back then. What would happen is, after they signed autographs, they'd get in their limousine, and they'd go down to the corner. And there'd be a red light down the block at the corner. They'd stop at the red light. Then if you knew enough, you kind of like took a little jog down to the red light and held up the thing, and they'd roll a window down. So that's what happened. I got him down at the corner in the limousine, and he scribbled that pretty quickly. And there were people that saw me getting the autograph, so he saw other people following me and running too, and he said, "Yo, tell those guys down there no more." You know, like he was signing enough. And when he says no more, and he's going, "No more, no more." But as I turned around to look back, there he was out of the window signing everybody's signature. Well, nice guy. At least he signed it. One of my most proud autographs, Roy Scheider. So many movies he's in. Of course, Jaws being one of my favorite movies. I heard he was appearing live for an NBC Studios interview. I went to NBC Studios. He came out of the elevator. He signed this really quickly. Nice autograph, nice signature. Only thing is, the only photo that I had handy was this one from a movie called 52 Pickup, not from Jaws. Okay. Also, Fran Drescher from The Nanny and other things. Fran Drescher was somebody who, I talked about going to the David Letterman show. I didn't go for her specifically. And this is like 1993-ish, the early 90s. You'd go to the David Letterman show, and whoever was there, there were a few guests on at the same night. You try to get a photo, and just because she was there, I tried to get her autograph. I remember one time Art Garfunkel was there. He wouldn't stop and sign, unfortunately. I remember one time at the Letterman show, Sean Connery was there, and he had to run to catch a plane. He wouldn't sign either. But this is another one of my most happy, proud autographs, although his signature, is notoriously weak. It's Al Pacino. How about that for a signature? This is of all movies I could have got, this is from Frankie and Johnny, of all movies. But I've got a really good series of photographs with me and Al Pacino. He was filming the movie City Hall at City Hall in New York. And I went there at City Hall and I got his autograph and also John Cusack's autograph, who was also in the movie. And I got some photos in action with, standing next to Al Pacino, but also, and also you'll see later at some series in a picture with John Cusack. But it was cool because he was coming in and out of his trailer. They had a trailer set out across the street from where City Hall was. And he would come out, and as he was walking to the trailer with John Cusack, they were called to the set of City Hall. Both of them would throw a football around. Pacino would say, "Hey, John, go long, go long." And he'd go long and he'd throw him the football. Then in between passes, he'd sign. Somebody would go up to him, stick a picture. Al was the coolest. Al knew the game. He knew the New York game, and he would sign for everybody, pose for pictures. He'd throw a pass to John Cusack, lean in for a photo, catch a pass, throw it back, sign an autograph, etc. Okay, last one for this one. In 1993, I was at a show. It was an off-Broadway play called The Blue Man Group. And when I went to the Blue Man Group, after the show was over, it held about maybe 100 people, small place. I came out of the venue, and I looking back at me, all the people are filing out, and there's Rob Reiner himself, Meathead, from All in the Family, right? And I got a photo with him, and here's the photo. And then 1 year later, and you can see I look a little different there, right? Maybe one day, get back to that. Anyway, this is 1993. And then a year later, I saw him at the David Letterman show. So he signed the picture. Okay? So that's 2 meetings with Rob Reiner. And thank you for watching. Very happy to share this with you. Keep watching the channel. More fun to come, I hope. Surprises, etc.